Hello, thank you for being with me this morning. Um, Kind of makeup list. I got a little thing going on with my left eye. I want to make sure that it doesn't turn into an infection. So I didn't put any makeup on. This is my natural beauty, y'all. I want to play something for you all. I'm scared to touch my computer because it goes off. I got to get another cord for it. Well, that's what happens when you're poor. But let me see if I can scoot up so you could get a bigger picture of me. Now, I'm going to play something for you while I talk. And I just put this out there, and the title of the video is Boston's Budget Crisis. And it has a picture of our governor, Mauree Haley. Now, she was the one that I'm going after because when she was the attorney general, I applied 5 applications for civil rights violation. And then the evidence I have against the police and all of that too for misconduct, she is violating your constitutional rights by not giving people public access to it, not the media, not lawyers. So therefore, you cannot take these people to court to sue them. Okay. She is doing nothing for people that are legal residents or legal citizens as far as housing. And this is why. This is why a Latino company can come in here and break your constitutional rights because it's all about money. There's a motive. The taxes they pay for letting these people do what they do makes up 70% of Massachusetts revenue. Now they're losing that. Now we were awarded 480 something million to help in housing. It's not going to citizens. It's going to the illegal immigrants. Healthcare people. I'm always getting calls. Sorry for the interruption. But all of my videos I've been posting, see, God don't have you stupid. Okay. This is now starting to make sense. Now, out of that 480 something million dollars that America was awarded through the federal government to protect the homelessness and all of that, the money is going to the immigrants. And in this video, I'm going to go ahead and let you hear some of that, but y'all should pick this up and listen to it.
Collects 70% of its tax revenue from commercial real estate, which in one hand is actually okay, because normally what happens is in states like New York City, there is a higher tax burden in terms of income tax, but there is a lesser tax burden in terms of commercial real estate. Boston has 70% of that tax revenue coming from commercial real estate. The issue with that is most people, yes, maybe not most, but a lot of people are working from home. So there is a lot of empty office space that ended up going on the market between the years of 2020 to 2024. Those buildings that sold prior to 2020 were selling for effectively $7 million plus dollars. Now they are selling for half of that. So the tax amount collected on a per year basis is really cut in half. Okay, it's cut in half because now, these commercial property.
I'm going to try to lower this down and let this man talk in the background because this is important to my case. Finding out why they would neglect American citizens and even legal residents the right to fair housing and the right to be treated like a human being. Now, the reason why I'm posting this too is because this Latino company that's coming after me again, that's caused me the PTSD, is taking me to court this Thursday for the process of eviction. And I've been here 11 years. Okay. And the reason they're doing this is because I took them to court. And I posted this on my video. Okay. Now, since then, HUD or somebody around that agency contacted the adult um, protection agency and reported the incident for me. And I got a call from them. I was surprised to hear from them. One of the questions they asked me was that HUD and all of them asked me, was I doing this by myself? I said, yes. I thought I was getting help from the mayor. This guy, Mr. Washington, has sort of doing a no return phone calls with me. So they just brought me in there, passed me off to somebody to make it look like they were going to do something for me. So I don't know what to say about the mayor or the governor of Massachusetts. I looked at something and it says, what is she hiding? So after I do this video, I'm going to go look for that and post this one too. But the one that y'all should look at is the one that I'm playing on my phone is called Boston's Budget Crisis, Migrants, Real Estate Decline, and the Taxpayers' Burden. So all of the taxpayers' money is going to illegal immigrants. And they are looking to, and that 480 something million. In this video, this man is also talking about the homelessness situation. I posted videos about this. I said, why? They're supposed to be building up these places for homeless people to get them off the street. This money's not going anywhere but to illegal immigrants because this is a sanctuary state. So people that are in this country will run here to our state and other states like us to keep from cooperating with ISIS. So therefore, the residents and the legal citizens here, we don't have no rights anymore because all of them are given to them. And they rather throw us out in the street and bring these people in with no job. And check this out, $10,000 a month. That's over $100-something thousand they're getting from our taxpayers' dollars. Listen to this man talk. Okay. And like I said, Boston budget crisis. Put it in there, you can hear the whole thing. Now let's get back to this eviction with me because I got my videos. Okay. Now, when I won this situation in court, see, I signed with the community builders, said if you don't go after us for this racial discrimination, we will sing like a bird and let MCAD know that we fired them because they racially discriminated against you with hate crime. They told me, you don't have to worry about them no more, Miss McLeod. And their lawyers, those threatening lawyers, you don't have to worry about them anymore. Please give us a chance to treat you like a human being. That's why I'm still stuck here. That's why they won't move me out of here. And I put in for transfers too. Plus, I'm still in a 2-bedroom and I should be in a 1-bedroom. But they're trying to make their line of me still staying here look like they're in the clear because they were treating me like a human being until I got the green beetles. Then they showed their ass again. So Peabody Properties and the community builders, they both share the same lawyers. Now that's a breach of contract. If I sign that I don't have to be harassed by them anymore, and then when I took them to court, guess whose name was on the thing? The office people didn't show up because they didn't know nothing about it. The lawyers showed up. I don't rent from the lawyers. I rent from the community builders. In my files, on my videos, people, this is serious. This is so serious. When they came in to do the judge's court order, and I talked about this, I'm doing a refresher. And I said, because I took y'all to court, I said, y'all are trying to evict me, and they're shocked. No, what? We don't have no reason to evict you. Your account is not where it warrants this. And plus I asked for a reasonable accommodation to make up for the few months I did miss, about 4 months, dealing with my shoulder, dealing with trying to I had no help from the hospital. I was doing everything for myself. trying to work with one arm. And it put me in a real bad crisis when you're suffering from PTSD. So when I started to get a little stronger in moving my shoulders and my thing and getting out of the bed, I just said, well, I got to catch up. And they denied me that reasonable accommodation. And the judge said that they have a reasonable accommodation, that they're supposed to give it to me as of October 2020. But getting back to where I want to talk about this protection agency, this court order that the judge gave us, I got it on film. They didn't know nothing about the eviction. And then they didn't know what they were supposed to do to come in and prep my apartment for. So on that same day when we're watching the videos, I showed them the eviction thing, and then I showed them. Hello, Moto. Then I showed them the judge's court order, and I asked them, "Did you see this?" And they said no. And this is why I had to call the police, because they wanted to come in on the 25th. Instead of the 26th. The judge ordered, and this is a structure that she had lined up that they were supposed to do. So they're going to disregard the judge's court order. So the protection lady came up. She made an appointment with me. She came and visited me in my home. We went downstairs first because I met her downstairs. And she wanted to talk to the lady in the office. So she talked to the lady in the office. And the lady in the office, she told her what she wanted. She said she wanted the judge's court order, and she wanted the threatening letters that the lawyers been sending me. Now, they are 4 years, 3 to 4 years in violation of a court order because the judge told them to let me access to my folder. Now, in my folder, there is horrific things that they did to me because what's her name said, she told the owner, you don't even want to look in that folder because nothing but a bunch of lies. But yet they still won't let me see my folder. Now, I've gone back in there and I told them, look, the protection agency is coming in here. She's going to come on this day. I need the information in my folder so that I can present this to her. See, they don't know what I have. See, I have those, and maybe missing a few threatening letters from the lawyers. And especially she was interested in the one where they I claim Peabody Properties was trying to kill me. She says, I really need that letter. So after we got through downstairs, see, I got them in a cornered position where she couldn't lie to the lady. She said that I noticed to quit went out on me. And I said, well, when was I supposed to get it? So the protection lady said, well, do you have a copy of the notice to quit? She says, I need it. So she's fiddling around in the computer like she's looking for something. She couldn't come up with nothing. And then she said, oh, well, the lawyers did it in January. No, they didn't. No, they didn't, because she couldn't show her anything in January where the lawyers did this. Like I said, I don't rent from the lawyers. I rent from the management. If they was coming out with something like this, they should have went to management and informed the management and go through the proper way. The management will contact me with a 14-day or 30-day notice to quit, which I have those notices from the past when they were trying to overcharge me all that rent. The reasonable accommodation that they said they don't do, and the notices to quit. They told this protection agency, oh, we don't do those. Okay. And she did, I throw this in with an argument that reason why they ain't been coming to my house like the court order said, they're supposed to come every other Wednesday until the judge says that there's nothing left in my apartment. You know how many times they came? They came one time to do the spray and was out my apartment for 4 hours. So they followed that to the letter after I had to file a police report on them that they were violating the judge's court order. He took that court order down there to them and said, no, you're not coming to her apartment until the 26th. So in between that time, that's when the lawyers went down there, because we went to court on the 20th. So Friday was the 21st. Saturday and Sunday was the 23rd, was Sunday. And the constable came to my door Monday on the 24th. So they didn't even notify the office management that they were going to put in for an eviction. If I owed a penny, they would have put it in for an eviction, okay? So this is not funny, but if I don't laugh at it, I'm going to cry about it. And I choose not to cry about this anymore. So the protection lady said, look, I want the court order and I want the lawyer's letters. This is the second time we had a confrontation. But going back to that first time when we got finished with the people in the office, see, I was able to tell my story and point to her. Remember you said y'all was gonna pack this stuff up and do all of this, and then how y'all reneged after it, and then you want to blame me that you couldn't get in my apartment because of the boxes, and I explained everything why. I said if you had to follow procedure and sent me a 24-hour notice, I wouldn't have had to be home for you to put those boxes in my apartment. So they're trying to deny everything. And this is one of the other things that's in that judge's court order, is that they're supposed to stop ganging up on me. See, they tell me one thing or say something to somebody else, but when I go back and confront them on it, they're always making it look like I'm lying. This is very important. They're making it look like I'm lying all the time. Okay. So when the inspector came up here, she said, oh, she my apartment. And I showed her those attorney letters and everything. She said, I'm really interested in this one, the one that said Peabody Properties trying to kill me. And so she called me again. I mean, this lady's been calling me up the ass. And she said, well, I can't find those pictures that I took of those letters, those attorney letters and the court order and stuff. She said, can you resend them to me today? Because I need them by 2:00. I said, well, what if I call them and ask them if they could email it to you? And I'll go down to the office. I says, I'll have her call you, see if it's okay, because I called across the street and they said, oh, sure, we can send it to her. This is a protection agency. You don't hide information from a protection agency. So they have not presented anything that I need to present to this woman in my defense within my folder. Got nothing. So I don't know if they destroyed the stuff in my folder. If not, they better have this shit that I got. Okay? So getting back to the inspector, I'm in the office. The lady's in the office. I don't want to give people's names right now. And the protection lady. So they're all talking about, well, Miss McLeod said, well, 10:00 is a hard time, but they're here up until 5. I said, no. The judge's court order says they're supposed to come in at 9, pack up my stuff. For 10:00, the exterminator is supposed to be here. Then I'm out of my apartment for 4 hours. And at that time, between 3 and 4, they're supposed to come back in here and re-put everything back. So the judge said that she wanted where I can prepare my meals. And she said that I am a credible witness. And I'm entitled to the same rights and privileges as everybody else that rents here. And I'm being denied that. But that's been established in court. So the lawyers got pissed off. That's why they going about this eviction thing. Here again, I don't rent from them. I rent from the community builders. Okay. How is it that they're bypassing the office and the shit is coming like the repeated offense directly from the lawyers? This is sickening, y'all. It's really sickening. It's really sickening. I'm not a toy. I'm a human being. Why do you treat me less than a dog? And you give a dog more rights than you would give a human being here in Massachusetts. No rights. No rights. Under this governor. And the mayor, she ain't too far behind her. Michelle Wu, she ain't too far behind her. I wanted to give her a benefit of the doubt. So here's what's happening now. Okay. So I'm prepared to go to court Thursday. But the lady called me back after we had that three-way consultant conversation, and they were saying, well, she's trying to be lenient with the with the people, with the community builders, and saying, well, sometimes they can't always get there on time. What if they come this Friday? Would you let them in to exterminate? I said, I'm not refusing. I said, it's in the judge's court order that this is what's supposed to be done. And I said, they came one time after 3 weeks. They skipped a week. So they came in again, and he found some more dead bugs in there. And he said, well, they all seem to be dead. So he said, but the stuff is still working. But they're supposed to come and check. So when we're down in the office, she asked me, do you have the bugs in your house? I said, I don't know. Nobody's come back and check. 2 times since February, and this is now April, they came to my apartment. Now that violates every other Wednesday. See, they don't feel like they have to obey any judge's court order. They did this before in the past when I tried to tell them that they were violating coming to my door without 24-hour notice. So they faked up a thing and took me to court for the reason I was taking them to court, but they never showed up. My hearing was in June. Theirs was in October. This is when the judge signed in that I'm supposed to let them in my apartment with the 24-hour notices. So they made me the liar, even though I had the judges saying, well, I took it against them because they assaulted me with my door. And I said, enough is enough. I'm going to file a restraining order against them to keep them from doing this. And they turned around and used it against me, and the judge awarded them. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a fucking bitch, y'all? So this is a traumatic story. That's probably why I'm jumping all over the place. But getting down back to this inspector, this investigator of adult abuse, she contacted me 3 times Monday. She said, Miss McLeod, I got back the judge's court order. She said, I'm getting ready to close this. For one reason, I don't know what's going on now, but she said, Miss McLeod, you were right. She said, whether you're home or not, they're supposed to come in and honor that judge's court order. She said they violated the court order by not coming into my apartment and seeing if these things are still active in my apartment. So they're violating my rights again with the judge saying that I'm entitled by law, life, peace, and happiness, and whatever that constitutional right is. They violated it, and they don't believe that they have to follow the judge's order. So I'll be glad to go to court to handle this because they did this out of retaliation. Now, the office people didn't know about the judge's court order. That's why they set it up the way they was set it up. And the judge said, no, she's incapable of doing that. So y'all are in violation. Y'all are supposed to do this and do not gang up on her anymore. Well, they ganged up on me the last time with the protection agency. And she was trying to be lenient. Miss McCall, why don't you bend a little bit? I said, why do I have to compromise? I'm going by the letter of the law and what the judge said. Why do I have to be lenient when they're supposed to be giving me the reasonable accommodation? So once she got that court order back and they emailed it to her, she called me and she said, Miss McCloud, you were right. She caught them after lie, after lie, after lie, after lie. That's when she said, I'm going ahead and close this investigation. She also said, I'm going to refer you. She named this clinic. That's why I keep answering my phone. She said, this deals with people who have gone through really traumatic situations, and I can hear it in your voice. Talking about do not renew their leases. This is more powerful. This is the motive in confirmation. I told y'all about this. Confirmation and common sense. Confirmation and common sense. So everything that explains, this guy is explaining everything what the governor is doing and why the citizens and the homeless don't have any rights here in Massachusetts. and why these people can violate your constitutional rights because of that tax 70% revenue Massachusetts is getting from them. See, they're not going to go against the money. So they'll let them do anything they can to you. This woman needs, this woman needs the answer for this. She needs an answer for this. I have longevity here. I'm either the original indigenous people here, because we were here first. A lot of them wasn't, we brought here by slave ships. We were already here. And this is how you being treated here in Boston. That's why I did a video calling this a Jim Crow state. I said we are camouflaged under a democratic title. And there's nothing but Jim Crow here. This is why. And this man on this video talks about the thing of blindness of homeless people. They can't even get into housing because they're putting the immigrants, illegal immigrants in there and giving them $10,000 a month. Damn, who is the taxpayer that's making this? Some people here, yeah, they make that type of money. They make that type of money. But this money from the federal government was for relief for people like me and homeless people and low-income housing. Because I'm retired. I don't have to work anymore. This building, this is apartment I stay in is over $3,000. It's gone up. It's over $3,000 a month. So Massachusetts is taking this money and ignoring the housing situation that's giving them the blue light to abuse you, run you out into the street so they can move illegal immigrants in, and giving them $10,000 a month. Ain't that nothing? Ain't that nothing? Is Massachusetts government that correct? This is why I can't get none of these senators to handle the situation. Everybody backs away because, and now I'm seeing a title, what Michelle Wu is hiding, the mayor of Boston. I'm going to go dig into that information too. Now, these are women. I've never heard of a black a governor in the man thing, because we've had some good governors. Mayor White, and mayors, Mayor White, Manunu's the governor. Oh no, there was a mayor too, but we've had not the best governors, but they wasn't this out and out bold and violating people's constitutional rights. That's why I said I'm not going away. I'm going to continue to fight this. So I got a lot of shit going on. Plus, I'm going through the book of Enoch. I put that down for a week because I'm in the last stage of the flood of Noah, and it's scary because it tells you all about Revelations and where everybody is going. And I want to be really in the understanding of that before I talk to you all about that. But my situation here with this housing thing, this lady, I guess she made her decision because you don't lie to a protection agency that you're not doing this. Then she found out they're lying. They told her, oh, we can't go into her apartment if she's not there because she don't want us in her apartment when she's not there. I said, you have notices. I said, the judge said she is the notice now. So they don't need to give me a 24 or 48 hour notice. She wants them in here every other Wednesday until she feels fit to stop it. And they only been here 2 times in 2.5 months. And the fact that they have come at me in retaliation, and I was able to prove that with this adult inspector, abuse inspector, because I showed her the lawyer's letters, and I showed her on that one, it's a warning to me. You can contact a third party if you want to, but this is what we're going to do to you. We're going to say that you said this, that Peabody Property is trying to kill me, and they let me know that they could get away with it. So now that the woman has all of this and has seen it for herself, and I talked to her, I said, see, this is why I need an advocate. And this is why I wanted to record everything. All of my videos are leading up to the same thing, so I can't be lying, y'all. I'm not the liar they want me to be, so that they could be in the clear because they have privilege. They don't know I have privilege too. Not in the way that they got it, but I'm an American citizen. Okay. This is a very important message this guy is sending, and God gives you things when you need to get them. So I'm looking forward to going to court. And God is on my side. Okay, we're going to get down to the bottom of everything. Now that the protection agency, she said, Miss McLeod, I'm going to refer you to this agency that deal with people that's been raped. Remember I talked about this? Shot, stabbed, mugged. She said, you need somebody to help you deal with this emotional stuff that you're going through. So that leads me to think that they're going to file abuse charges against them if she's going to refer me to somebody like this. So this is Monday. This is a week ago. This is Monday now. I don't know what's happened. I know within Children and Family Services or something like that, they found out somebody or elderly is abused. They removed them from the harm of the residency. So I don't know what's going to happen with me as of yet, but I will keep you all informed. I'm looking back at these and seeing like maybe 200 to 400 on some of my thing viewers. So I wish I could get this message out there even bigger because I want to get closure. I told my doctor I can't heal until I get closure. You know, when you're abused and attacked, a dog can't tell you what all they've done to them. But when you're a human being and you rescue these animals from being abused and put them somewhere safe, why wouldn't Massachusetts do that for human beings? They don't give a damn. All they want is the money. That's 70% tax information that they're tax money that they're getting from these people. I don't even know if they're legal residents or I mean, I imagine they're legal residents, but that's why only maintenance people here are Latinos. They don't hire nobody else. They had a token black here and there, but they never lasted more than 6 months. And it's a lot less than that. They stayed here because they don't want other nationalities working here. No whites, no Orientals, no blacks, only Latinos work in this building. Maintenance company, and they service all of the maintenance people there across the street in new buildings. So they're hindering Americans from getting jobs here, and a lot of them don't even speak English. You can't even speak to them because me don't understand. Me don't speak English. Me don't speak English. That's still going on. So if I'm in a little bit of absentee because I'm going through some things still, and I'm gathering up my information so I can post it to y'all. When I come up on here, I'm coming with something serious. Okay. Now I'm gonna go find out what Michelle Wu is hiding. But this is to make sure Marie Haley do not get reelected governor. See, she still got Massachusetts residents working at home. So that they, like this guy has said, they can have these buildings empty so they can sell them to these real estate people and all of that, housing people, and collect the money from housing. But they're not housing American citizens. They're housing illegal immigrants and giving them $10,000 a month. That's a lot of fucking money. They got more rights and privileges than we do. They and the Massachusetts revenue is in trouble because they're not. They on this thing they said they were paying maybe $7 million for a building that they were giving to them, the vacant building. Now it's half than that. So Massachusetts revenue is dropping. And if they go against these management companies for doing what they're doing, Massachusetts would not have a revenue. This is a crooked state. It's a crooked state. But they're not harming black people only. They're harming everybody. And that means poor whites included. They're out there on the streets. I said, there's more of them out on the street than there are black people. That's why I was advocating for the homeless too. $480-something million. And the 4 years is just about up. And there's more people still out on the street than there was back then. What is this governor doing? She didn't do nothing as Attorney General because she blocks you from filing discrimination cases against these property managers. She also is responsible for the medical condition that I am in because she failed to protect me. And she's working now as a governor. And the only people they're protecting is the people that are being harassed by ICE. I would love to have empathy. But at this point, I was the taxpayer when I was working. I paid taxes. I worked all my life to get to this point. And I'm getting retirement. And these motherfuckers, these people are getting $10,000 a month per family. $10,000 bonus. Did y'all hear it? Hold on. Oh, shoot. I just messed that up, y'all. But anyway, this is a DOJ update on Boston City Council arrest. That's something different. Okay, so the one that guy was playing is gone. But I'm a little bit nervous because I don't know where the Adult Protection Agency is going with this. My mind is telling me that they convinced her that they were abusing me. Because if she's going to put in a reference for me to deal with this kind of trauma, can only lead to one conclusion. See? A lot of times I don't want to get on here and talk about this, but sometimes when you spread something, people do wrong fucking shit to try to cover up. So I'm wondering why they don't present the information in my folder. I told them you're interfering in an investigation from the abused people by withholding information in my folder, and she could come up with nothing. It took her 3 weeks. I said these people need this information so that they can do a thorough investigation. So they hindered her from doing a thorough investigation, and I have to go back and resupply her with stuff that they can't even give her. Something is wrong here, people. Y'all, I need your comments. I need your feedback. And I need for this to go viral because this needs to come to a head. It's not just me. This needs to come to a head. And these people need to be accountable for what they're doing. I am a child of God. You understand that? I am not supposed to be treated this way. If we don't band together and stop supporting one and each other, we cannot fight all of these battles by ourselves. I have a damn good, credible situation, and I'm calling for you all to send this out there and let them know what they're doing, especially in New York and Massachusetts. and why all of them are running out of those states and coming here because we're a sanctuary state. And the governor don't give a fuck about the residents. And they're saying, well, let's get these people up in here because we're going to take Massachusetts taxpayer dollars and we're going to give these people a comfortable living. We're going to give them housing. And they can't even protect my civil rights and my constitutional rights. Because of this revenue that Massachusetts is getting from these people that's worse on the blacks than they are the Hispanics. So there's a lot of different Latinos, So I know Puerto Ricans are American citizens. So when they say worse on the blacks than they are, and they use Hispanics in their racial comment, that means to tell me that it's non-legal residents that they're more lenient with than they are with legal residents. But stay tuned. I'm gonna reveal more, but I gotta go check this shit out. So thank you all for listening. I'm gonna go ahead and share this. I got TikTok, I got Facebook, I got YouTube, Instagram, and I'm putting these messages out. And the amount of response that I'm getting is I'm grateful for it, but it could be a lot more. Do something to help. This is not my fight. This is our fight. Help me help us. Help me help us. In God's name, help me help us. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. And I'll be back. Keep my happy face. Love y'all and thank you.